Today I'll be simply showing the Fender Vibro Champ XD, which is part of the Vintage Modified series from Fender, which is their way of trying to combine tube and solid state, similar to what Vox is doing right now, into, well, now they say it, a Vox, but this is a Vox AC15c1. I'll be using the line out, if you can't see. A lot of people ask me, what is the difference between the CC1 and the C1? Well, the reality is that there aren't too many differences, you know, maybe aesthetically, but let's get a better look. Okay, and you'll see that the switches have been redone, you know, and you'll see two. Okay, that's kind of dark, but there are two channels, but you can't really go between them. So in this case, you're gonna have to use a Y cable to blend. You can get some pretty interesting results, but right now I'll be using the normal as to get more of the Fender's color blended into here. Now, the AC15c1, the main difference is that it utilizes a G12M, Greenback, you know, selection. So, without any further ado, I will be using the, let's see, I'll just go through a series of the voices on the amp through the Fender, okay? First voice is a tweed, very clean but dark sound. The next one is a Fender Bassman. The Bassman gets a little bit more breakup. I like to use, through my Les Paul Studio Deluxe, that is, a little bit of both pickups now, and so it sounds pretty cool when you tap one of the coils. Gain by switching to the bridge. Now we'll be going to a heavily souped up kind of tweed sound. This is a lot of gain for a tweed. A very dark. Complete opposite. It's going to be a Fender black bass, very sterile, clean. Doesn't necessarily mean bad, not so much my thing. That even makes the 490R kind of bright, which is crazy because actually I turned down the tone. I tried to darken it up. So again, if I have a coil split, it's going to be a super bright tone. Let's see. Okay, the next one, there's a little bit more gain. You really get more of the sound out of it if you crank up the actual gain knob as opposed to volume on this. And again, it's not a sound I use too often. spring reverb, you know, switching over to the next digital effect here, you know. But we'll just kind of stay away from that. I don't know surf music. The next one again is a little bit more high gain, still black bass. Now we get into the British territory. This actually sounds pretty similar to my Vox, now going through my Vox, that is, you know. Still a little bit too compressed, too much mid-range. The next is actually a really, really good sound effect here. Well, voicing. It is the Marshall sound. You know, they don't say Marshall, but they say, I believe, like something along the lines like vintage British. And this is certainly a good blues breaker sound for you out there trying to get the pedal, perhaps even. You know, for $200 you can have all of this. Well, mine's not for sale. Yeah, the next is going to be still British, but it's going to be modern. Now it's going to be like rip your face off, you know.